Good morning. We are starting the Uddhava Gita, chapter 6. This is verse 37 onwards. Uddhava Gita, chapter 6, verse 37. Procession to sacred sites and making offerings of worship on all special days of the year. Initiation according to Vedic and other scriptural rites and taking up vows in my honor. So in continuation to what a person who is devoted to me is supposed to do. If you recollect, the previous verse said, recounting of my lives and deeds, observance of special days, festivities in temple, song, dance, instrumental music in my company. Now in continuation to that it says procession to sacred sites. Making of offerings on special days of the year. Initiation according to Vedic and other scriptural rites and taking a vows in my honor. So Sri Krishna is explaining to Uddhava. He says that you can go to sacred places. What are the sacred places in India? There is Banaras, there is Vrindavan, there is Gaya, there is in Kanchi, Rameshwaram, and many other places that are there, Dwarka. You can go to those places and take a procession. Now, if you all know something about a place in Maharashtra called Pandharpur. Now, in Pandharpur, there is something which is called Vari, an annual festivities where lots of people gather together. Now, this is 3 months in a year, people go and stay over there. How do they stay over there? They have left all their belongings at home, wherever they are, walked all the way from whichever place that they are coming from. It might be 600 kilometers, 500 kilometers or whatever, They have walked so many kilometers away. Come to this place. There are small tents which are put up, or they may not be tents also. They may just live like that. They have brought a few utensils with them. And they live over there during this rainy season. Now, why is this done? This is called Vari. Now, people who gather at this place during the rainy season, there isn't much to be done. People stay indoors. There are floods sometimes, there are droughts sometimes, there are lots of issues that are happening in this world. And because of which their job is to just bear the brunt of the nature. So at such place, there is a river called Chandrabhaga. They stay over there near the river, and every day they pray to God, taking the name of God. And that is Vari. There are many other places in India where people go for pilgrimages and they have taken some vows. You have heard of people, those who wear those black color clothes. They go barefoot and they go through a lot of difficulties. They climb the mountains over there. So such kind of people are also there. So he says, you have to go to sacred places, make offerings of worship on all special days. So there are special days in a year where we make offerings to the Lord. Now, offerings as per your capacity. It is not that God is saying that you have to offer thousands of rupees when you cannot even afford 100. If you can afford 100, you can give 10 rupees worth of offerings. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Special days in a year. There are lots of special days in a year where you can do these offerings. There are saints over there. You can go and meet those saints, be in their company, listen to the satsangs, and they will initiate you on the path of Vedanta or Vedas or whatever. It really doesn't matter again what they are initiating you on, which path. Now, those who have heard about the Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela is there in many places, whether it is Haridwar or Varna, Allahabad and so on and so forth. You can go for that. You can stay in the tents over there. Government accommodations are provided. Or if you can arrange for your own accommodation over there, it does not matter. Visit these melas, meet the saints and the sages and people, those who are spiritual in nature. Now Krishna is saying you can do that as well. You can do certain other things as per scriptural rites also. Take a vows in my name. What are the vows? There are lots of vows which people take. Normally in our world we have people who suffer from dangerous kinds of diseases. Diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure and so on and so forth. For the sake of medical, for their own good health, people give up certain things. They give up sugar. But these same people will never give up anything in the name of God. Giving up the most likable thing, that is the thing that you like the most, is called sacrifice. Suppose you like tea, drinking tea. You have to give it up. Don't drink. So these are the kind of austerities which a person can do. So we move to the next verse. These verses are going to be fast because it is just a basic idea what you can do. Chapter 6, Uddhava Gita, verse 38. Eagerness to install my image and endeavor, either single-handedly or jointly, to construct gardens, orchards, playgrounds, compound walls, and temples dedicated to me. So what are you supposed to do? So again, if you are on the path of spiritual, if you want to become a devotee of the Lord, he says, you can install my images and endeavor to install. That means you can try to install them, work very hard towards installation of my images, either single-handedly. You can do it alone, or you can take a lot of people jointly. There are lots of places in India where a person has installed a small image. You will come across a lot of stories where the sages have a small image with them, a very tiny image with them. That is consecrated because they have been carrying that image with them. Now that image has got a lot of value. Now this image is the most consecrated one. That means it has got so much of power, so much of energy in it, it's unimaginable. So if you have an image which is installed by a sage or a saint, it has got tremendous value. Now let us say you get an image of your own. With proper rituals, rites, ceremonies, you can install it. So Krishna says you can install my image, either singly or jointly. Construct gardens. Gardens which are inhabitable by all kinds of creatures. That means the birds can come, the bees can come. You see, understand, all those kind of gardens. People can come and enjoy the gardens. Not a private garden which nobody can come to. Not something like that. A private garden is for a rich man. He keeps a private garden for himself and grows trees, plants, fruits, vegetables, this, that, and flowering plants and all that kind of stuff. No, you have to do it for me. Krishna says, do it for me. It is a public garden. Everybody can come and enjoy it. Everybody should be allowed. Orchards. The orchards are not for minting money. The orchards are so that anybody can partake of it. Playgrounds. Now, if you are constructing playground for your own son and daughter, what is the use? You find there are so many great houses across America where lot of people make big grounds, gardens and so on and so forth. So this kind of places are not habitable by the general public. Here he is talking about playgrounds which anybody can come to. Compound walls. The compound walls have to be erected because there are lots of passing animals which can come in. In some regions there are elephants which pass through. In some places there are wild animals and so on and so forth. So to keep them out so that that place becomes secure, we have to build compound walls. For a general population, that is extremely important. And all these temples and everything that I said has to be dedicated to me. So whatever that you do, just dedicate it to me. So this is some of the things which a devotee can do. Now, we move to the next verse. This is chapter 6, Uddhava Gita, verse 39. Taking care of my temples without deceit, like a servant, through sweeping, plastering, watering, drawing sacred designs, etc. Now, when a temple is constructed or when you install an image, it is called a place of worship. Now, when a place of worship is set up, when you put up a temple, you put up a place where you are installing my image, Krishna says, it should be done without deceit. Without deceit is a very singular word which you have to understand. Deceit. It should not be done with an intention. We have intentions that, I want to set up an image because for my mother, for my father, I want to set up an image for this purpose or that purpose. When you take care of this property, where Sri Krishna resides, it has to be without deceit. There should be no hanky-panky. There should be clarity. And whoever is taking care of the place, whoever sets it up, has to be like a servant. Now, how is a servant towards the master? The servant never raises his voice against the master or against anybody. The servant never fights or does anything which is destructive. A servant's job is to always be kind, mild, humble, protective, so on and so forth. Isn't that what a servant does? A servant is never supposed to be haughty. If you install the image, never ever consider yourself as the owner of that. We are going to do this in the next coming verses where people take ownership of things. And how are they supposed to behave? We will be doing that in the coming verses. Right now, please understand that everything that is done, you have to do it like a servant. The attitude has to be like a servant, where sweeping is necessary. Now, sweeping is done so that the place becomes clean. Plastering, watering, drawing sacred designs, and so on and so forth. In our culture, in India especially, the women in the household normally get up in the morning. This was the culture, this is the way how things have been in the past. They would get up in the morning, clean the place up thoroughly, wherever the place of worship is, clean it with water, purify the place, and then go for a bath. There is a temple here in Bangalore. I had a lady who was working with me. Now, after working the whole day till 8 in the night, she would go back home and clean her own place. She would go and eat the dinner and then clean her own place. After that, she would go to this temple at midnight. Now, this is a huge temple. Huge is not the word, it's a very big temple. From 12 midnight till 3 a.m. in the morning, she would be dusting, sweeping, swabbing, doing so much. The whole place was cleaned by this woman and I think one or two more people. Now, she did it in such a beautiful manner that when thousands of devotees who come the next morning, and there are prayers conducted, and early in the morning there is a very big ceremony going on, everybody would feel so happy because the place was spick and span. There are lots of South Indians in my group, so they have seen when they go to places like Tirupati or Shri Rangam and all these places, the cleanliness of that place. You can see the place has been cleaned, washed, decorated with all kinds of stuff. These are the things that have to be done. Now, this is about temples. What about places where the Guru stays or where there is a Guru? That place also has to be considered the most holy. Cleaning of that place, like what is written over here, all these things have to be done like a servant. That is the most important word. So we move to the next verse. This is Uddhava Gita chapter 6 verse 40. Today we are moving at a faster pace because the verses are simpler. Whenever there is anything that I have to explain, I will explain in detail. So Uddhava Gita chapter 6 verse 40. Disregard for fame, absence of haughtiness, and not trumpeting one's good deeds, not using for selfish end the light of the lamp offered to me. These are certain things that have to be done by this person who is supposed to be the devotee. The devotee of the Lord should never consider that there is fame involved. That means, please understand, these temples, these places of worship, the Guru's house and so on and so forth becomes very famous. People come to it, isn't it? Lot of people come over there. And the fame is normally taken by people, human beings. Now, who are these people? Let us say, for example, if you ever been to a place like Tirupati, there are people who install plaques outside. This step has been donated by so and so. This image has been donated by so and so. In all these temples also you will find that there are lots of pictures which have been given, isn't it? And if you look at those pictures, you will find that this Amma, that Appa, this one, that one, this particular brick has been donated by so and so. Please understand, these kind of things should be detested. You should never do those kind of things. Whatever that you are doing in the name of God, it should not attract any fame. Nobody should even know who has done this. It has to be done in secret. Announcing to the world that I am doing this and I am doing that, I brought this image, I did this, I is called arrogance. Absence of haughtiness is the next word. The haughtiness that comes in people, I am doing the puja, I am installing this image, I am doing this, I did this, I did this. This kind of haughtiness can never make a person a devotee. Devotion is a private affair. Devotion is a private affair between God and you. It is not to be announced to the world. You don't have to make a pomp and a show and tell the world, I am doing this. It should never be done like that. The haughtiness which is exhibited in most of the holy places that I have gone. People say, I have to stand in queue because I have donated so much. It's a very sad case where the person is not a devotee at all. He is an arrogant person. When arrogance is flowing through the veins of this kind of people, no Krishna is going to be pleased with them. Let me assure you this much. When you do any kinds of prayers, when you install images, when you go to the temples, when you donate to charity or whatever that good stuff that you do, please do not invite fame. Please do not say, I did it. I did. This is me. I invited people. I am putting this money. I am doing this. I am doing that. Not trumpeting one's good deeds. Never ever trumpet your good deeds. It's like people donate to charity, or people donate to the ashram, or they may give something in return. Maybe they will install one very big ghanta, a bell. The bell must have cost about thousands of rupees. Or they might have given one sone ka thali, golden vessel. It is not important to write your name on it. Never ever say, I have done it. The first time when I went to a place, there was a person next to me, one of my relatives. He says, can you see that image of Sai Baba? I said, yes. You see the chhatri on top of it, the umbrella on top of it has been donated by my family. Is that so? Yes, my father, he donated it. Is that so? You see, please understand, now your father's good deeds and your good deeds have gone down the toilet drain. The moment you say these words that I have done this, it is called arrogance. These kind of gifts will never be accepted by divinity ever. It will become a karma in your name. You know what a karma means? Suppose you say that I have donated 50,000 rupees to the ashram. Let us say you say these words. Even a little word, even one little word converts itself into karma. Now what happens is very, very strange. The law of karma states, whatever action that you do in the material domain, you have to be repaid back. And Krishna assures you, I will give it back to you. But for which you have to be born like a human, or maybe like an animal, or some such kind of a thing. Maybe in your next life you will become a monkey. You have donated 50,000 rupees to me. Next time you will be a monkey and there will be a cage outside which will be written, donated by Krishna 5 lakh rupees, for keeping you in that cage. Have you not seen those monkey cages in Mysore and various other places? Yes. Thank you very much. Krishna is going to say, thank you for your 50,000 donation. Every time when a person gives something, if they acknowledge it even by one word, it becomes a karma against that person's name. Whether you say it by mistake or whether you say it in anger or whichever way you say it, it is not called an offering at all. It is not an offering. So, not trumpeting one's good deeds. Never ever trumpet good deeds. Never say I did this, I did this, I did this, I am doing this. Never ever say. And this does not even mean only rupees or money. It doesn't only mean money. Even the service that is done, it is just not money. It is just not images. It is just not some kind of a, one liter oil I donated. People do that, I donated 1 liter oil. Or the person says, I am taking care of this or I am taking care of that. Every time when this word comes in, please let me assure you, Krishna's words to y'all, I will return it back to you 100 times over, for which you will have to be born. Why is it you have to be born? It's because any kind of new karma that you do, which is called the Kriyaman karma. Kriyaman is new karma. You have to be born again to take it from Krishna. And Krishna's ways are very, very strange. Okay? You may be born as a dinosaur also. And he will assure you, I will build a garden for you. A dinosaur garden. So that all people in this world can come and observe you. Jurassic Park, no? So that kind of a thing will be done. Or maybe you will be born as a small worm. The virus in Wuhan. Yes, there will be billions of dollars spent on you to analyze you. Isn't it money spent? Why would anybody want to even accept it that I have given? Never ever say these words, I have done this, I have done that. Even if it is a simple thing like offering pedas. Peda. The sweet. Don't say I have offered. Never say these words. Please understand, never ever say that I am doing this or I am doing that. The moment the I word comes into the picture, everything is gone. And this is a verse, and there are many verses which are going to tell you that. Not using for selfish ends. The same thing, the premises, suppose it's a premise which is like a temple. If you are using the premise for your personal use, then it is not called a temple. It is called a residence. And every residence has one small temple, no? So that is a residence, and that residence is what you are using. So even if you accept it, that this is what it is, and use it for selfish purposes, then that selfish purpose is lost on you. You will be repaid back again. It becomes a karma. And that karma has to be repaid back. And please, I will assure you, these words are being said by Krishna to his highest devotee called Uddhava. Remember that. Are you greater than Uddhava? No. So if he is saying these words to Uddhava, those are his words. And if he is telling Uddhava, this is how it has to be. Please understand that human beings are very tiny creatures. They do not understand. And this is what they end up doing. I did, and accept a lot of things. Never say that. You work as a servant. Don't ever acknowledge it. You work, sweep, swab, do whatever that comes to you. So, Then he says, not using for selfish ends. Anything, including the light in that place. You see, if you put up a small candle over there, or you put up even a lamp over there in that place, don't use it for personal gain. Okay? Even like studying over there in the night, please don't do that. It is called personal gain, and personal gain is very dangerous. Whatever is there in that temple or place where you have donated, you have given away, don't go and use it. Don't use those items ever. If you have given something to somebody, never go and touch those items and use them. So here Krishna is explaining that even the lamp should not be used for personal gain. No way. So we move to the next one. This is Uddhava Gita, chapter 6, verse 41. What is most covetable to people in general and whatever is specially dear to oneself should be offered unto me. That offering produces infinite results. What is the most likable thing in the world? What is it that you love the most? Suppose you love the most, the most lovable thing. Let us say you like ice cream. Or you like some gold. Alright? Suppose you love some article the most. Even if it is your own child, you love your child the most, isn't it? Have you seen that in the past, there are lots of parents who have come and they have offered their child to God? Have you seen that? What do you think they are doing? They are offering their most lovable item in the world. Yashoda, what did she offer? She offered her son to this world. You understand? Her son, Krishna, was offered to the world. That is the greatest sacrifice that a person can do, isn't it? Offering whatever that is there, the most covetable thing. What do you covet the most? Anything that you covet the most. The top of the, we have a hierarchy of things. What I like the most. This is what I like. This is what I like. This is what I like. Even it might be clothes. It does not matter. Haven't you seen the sages and the saints? They offer their clothes also. Isn't it? They chuck their clothes and then they wear orange color clothes. That means whatever that they think is the highest thing that they have, covet, they have to give it up. So Krishna says, what is most covetable to people in general? Whatever is specially dear to oneself. What is dear to you? Think, what is dear to a person? When you become a devotee of God, sometimes your own relatives are devoted, isn't it? The most specially dear to you. What is dear to you? That you offer to the Lord. Alright? That offering gives infinite results. It could be anything. So in your own life, think about it. It could be your own mother. Doesn't really matter. It could be your own children. It really doesn't matter. It could be a gold chain. It could be even your own place. Anything that is offered, which you covet the most. It could be a car. There are lots of these people in this world. I was watching a video where a person comes to Satya Sai Baba. This is way back in time. And he comes to Satya Sai Baba and says to him, "Sir, I want to offer this thing to you. It is the latest Mercedes Benz. It's a green color Mercedes Benz. I was watching that video, so I am telling you. Satya Sai Baba looks at him and says, I don't want. He keeps on coming to him every single day. Please take it, 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 please take it. And Satya Sai Baba says, I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. And it goes on for a very long time. Finally, one day it happens that he offers it and Baba says, okay, fine. And what does he do? All the school children that are there, all the college school children that is there, he used to run a college and a school in that place. Everybody piles inside that. He tells the children, come. And everybody piles inside that and they go to the school. It is just half a kilometer down. So every day he would tell the driver, take these children and bring them back. So this is called an offering, by the way. And if that is the most coveted thing, I mean, offering a Mercedes Benz. In case of Osho, they offered all his devotees, they would come and offer him Rolls Royce. I think he had at the last count 96 Rolls Royce. It is just an example for you to understand. I am not saying that Rolls Royce is required to be offered to Krishna. No. I am just giving an example for you to understand. Let us say you covet Rolls Royce. 96 Rolls Royce. Okay? So, it is like that. What do you covet the most? What do you love the most? Offer it to him. It is not the other way around, by the way. What you hate the most should never be offered. Please understand, what you hate the most, if you offer, it is going to come back to you 1,000 times. Isn't that last line saying that? Infinite results. It gives infinite results. So suppose you have, say, a very beautiful diamond ring and you offered it to Krishna. What is it that you are going to get in infinite results? Krishna will give you 1,000 diamond rings. So I hope you understand that. Which life of yours? Not this life. This life is finished. Prarabdha karma is drawn the line over there. Finished. Some next life or next, I don't know, maybe 1,000 lives afterwards. So it is going to come back to you. The next verse says, 42 verse from Uddhava Gita chapter 6. The sun, fire, Brahmana, cows, a devotee, the sky, air, water, earth, body, all beings. These, O friends, are the objects wherein to worship me. So you can worship me where? In all these things. The sun, fire, a Brahmana, cow, a devotee, the sky, air, water, earth, body, all beings. What Krishna means to say over here is, can you see me in everything? If you see me in everything, what is the job that you have to do? Remember, we have done some 4 or 5 verses by now. Do you remember a verse where he says you have to be the servant? Got it? So suppose you worship me in a devotee of mine, or in a Brahmana, or some such kind of a person, a cow also. What is your job? You have to be a servant to that. Think that is Krishna and serve that thing. I hope you understand what is being said over here. Suppose you think Krishna is in the sun. Do the Surya Namaskar, do the puja connected to Surya, so on and so forth. Right? Suppose you think I am in some object. Do that. But you have to be a servant to that. You have to service. You know, service is very, very important. Seva. Alright? Chapter 6, Uddhava Gita, verse 43. One should worship me in the sun through Vedic hymns, in the fire through oblations of ghee, in the best of brahmanas through hospitality, and in cows with grass, etc., my friend. Whatever that you see, you have to worship it and treat yourself like a servant to that object. So if you worship me in the sun, say the things that are required. If you worship me in Vedic hymns, treat the hymns very nicely. You do the oblations of ghee and so on and so forth. Brahmanas are those people whom we say, not the people who have those chotis and all that. Brahmana means the knower of Brahma. A knower of Brahma, there is a very beautiful story which I will say in 2 minutes. There is a place in Maharashtra. It's a very, very tiny village. Now, this particular village has a population of just about 100 or 200 people. Today also it is a very tiny village. One of the greatest saints of Maharashtra was born over there. What would happen is, these were very poor people doing, villagers, how they are. They had a small patch of land where they would be farmers, taking care of everything. Hardly anybody came to their village. One day it so happened that a person was passing by from there. So that person, when he was passing by, this old couple that was there, they called him. They said, "Sir, it's high noon. Please sit down for some time." And they offered him water. This is what is called Atiti Devo Bhava. And these are poor people. They are villagers. They are not educated people. So they offered this man a little food that they were having. A bhakri, we call it. Bhakri means, jawar, bajra, that bhakri is a kind of a flatbread. They offered him. This particular person, they did not know who he was. He was one of the greatest saints of that age. This is way back in 18th century. While going, this person blessed them and said, "I think you're missing a son in your family." There was a son born to this couple next year. They were old couple. Still a son was born to them. This house is still there. I will send you the pictures maybe tomorrow or day after, whenever I get the time. Now this story is not known to many people. This son that was born became one of the greatest saints of Maharashtra. He used to live in a kopin. Kopin means that little piece of cloth that is there. He would live his entire life. He lived in a kopin. Kamandalu, kopin, and he used to beg from everybody. One of the greatest saints of Maharashtra. Okay. Now, think. You don't need education. You don't need anything in this world to offer anything to any person. So here it is being said, when a person worships me in any which way, even as a guest, it is the highest benefit that you will get. Okay? I have 1 more minute. I'll do 1 more verse. Verse 44, chapter 6 from the Uddhava Gita. In the devotee through cordial reception, in the sky of the heart through regular meditation, in the air by looking upon it as a prana, in water with such things as water, etc. So whatever that you think the object is of Seeing me in. You have to see me in everything because I am the self. You have to see everything that is there. If you see me in water, worship me in water. That means you put oblations to the water. Treat it nicely. If it is Ganga water, you know what you are supposed to do. Regular meditation on me. If you consider it that I am in your heart, in the sky, or cordial reception of the Brahmanas or the devotee. If any devotee of Krishna goes to your house, if you consider yourself as a devotee of Krishna, yourself, please treat this devotee nicely. A devotee of Krishna has to be given a cordial reception. A very cordial reception has to be given to this devotee of Krishna. He may be the smallest person in the world or the greatest person in the world. Doesn't really matter. He may be an ignorant person. He may be just a villager. Does not matter. Atiti Devo Bhava. Treat him nicely. If it is air, offer the pranas. If it is water, offer the waters. So we have come to the end of verse 44. Tomorrow I will end this chapter and we will begin a new chapter. And that's a very interesting chapter. I hope you all will join in. So we will stop at verse 44 and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. You have a very nice day. Bye.